So there's a behavior change expert that I follow on Instagram. She has her PhD in essentially adult learning, and she runs her own online social media business, coaching, courses, content, those type of stuff. And she has a group, one of her channels, and it's Coach the Teacher. And so I was listening to it today, and what she said to me has been sitting with me for a few hours now, and I want to share with you guys because I feel like this is a mental exercise that I can work with you and that can be of value to many people as well, because it's like a principle that's helping. And so what she said was, and she prefaced this saying it is slightly a bit woo woo before like the actual practical stuff, but what she said was you got to make sure that you're in alignment for things to work out. And so with that, the purpose of this channel on Instagram that she has, this like subgroup that she has that I'm in, is her talking about how people can go from like more of like from like coaches and entrepreneurs and business owners and things like that to approaching their work through almost a teacher's perspective as they're trying to get the people that they are serving to help them transform, help them grow, help them learn, help them as a guide to improve, which I do like that approach. And but what she said that was so profound that stuck with me was that you got to be in alignment for things to work out. And the story that she shared was that in the months of her in her early stages of her business, she was not making a lot of money. And in the following months where she was in alignment, where she was doing the things that she felt like that was right to her, that felt like the right answers, that felt like she needed and that she must do, that it was required and demanded of her to be and do, she made more money. And then there were other months where she slacked off. She wasn't holding herself accountable or to the standard that she normally does. And nothing with business changed, but her numbers, her revenue went down. And I thought that was an interesting perspective and angle to work through. And where I want to bring that for you guys is if you are on this path of improving, of whatever behavior, of whatever skill you're trying to acquire, whatever character traits, whatever the thing may be, if it's fitness, if it's health, if it's self-development, if it's entrepreneurship, if it's whatever the fuck it is that you were trying to improve, you got to make sure that you are holding yourself to a standard, like in not just one domain. It's like the whole picture. Like if you have a goal, if there's something that you were striving for that is a pretty big steep goal, like saying like you are in undergrad and you want to make it to grad school, like you want to get your master's in whatever the thing is, you want to be able to get a PhD, say that you want to own your own business, you want to have your own side gig, you want to do something that is outside the box of what normal is, and this behavior, this task, this outcome that you are wanting to achieve is so far, like the gap is so wide that it's almost to the point of it's almost impossible, and you want this thing, you gotta make sure that you got your ducks in line. And that doesn't mean you have to be perfect, absolutely not, but you have to hold yourself to a standard. That means if you have to have that self-respect with the things that you say you do. Your word has to carry weight. If you say that you are going to be going to bed consistently, then make sure you set the necessary arrangements to make sure you get your butt in bed. Do what you got to do to move the pieces to make that thing happen. And say that you are a single parent, or you are like just a couple and you have several kids and you are trying to go back to school, or you're trying to improve and you just have a lot that you're juggling, or you're a student that's working two jobs and going to school full time, and whatever the thing is, if you are trying to improve, you gotta make sure that your head's screwed on tight. You gotta make sure things are it's like a global systematic approach to your life and how you do everything, because the way you do anything is how you do everything. And so no, don't slack off in one area. Yes, maybe there are days that things are just going to not get the most, like you're not going to be able to show up the best in one area, or something will fall or whatever. But then you think about it, you sit with it, and you make the necessary arrangement to correct it or apply more support. Since if you are adding more stress in your life in some way and you're adding more support to support that increase in stress, then okay, but have a standard. Like, make sure that you are on top of your stuff. Like, you cannot expect that you are going to do well and you're out partying and drinking every other weekend. You are blowing your money. Say you were trying to improve your budget, trying to save to pay off debt, to afford a house, to afford whatever. Like, you're trying to do what you got to do. Stop complaining and start a budget. Start doing something. Start taking some accountability and owning the actions that you were doing or not doing. Just make sure that things are in line. Make sure that you are feeling good. You are proud of the things that you are doing. And because that stuff matters. And like, yes, you can make it so far, but you can make it so much further if you just stop playing around. You just take things seriously. Because no, time is the one thing we don't get back. It's going to go away. Like, every second counts. And that's not me saying you have to work every single second. It doesn't mean you have to be productive every single second. It doesn't mean that. It means whatever your specific situation is. But if you feel like you're pressed for time and there's so much and that needs to be done, that can be done, and you feel overwhelmed, and so take an audit of everything, take stock and inventory, and come up with a game plan of where are things leaking, where can you improve, where can you start moving the needle in certain areas. Take an audit of where everything is at, good, bad, whatever. Just take a complete audit of everything to see what your behaviors are, see what you got, on what cards you have to play with, and then start changing things, start doing things. And so with her sharing that resonated so much to me in some areas where it's not up to my standards. And I don't give a fuck how that sounds. Like, no, I don't care. Like, I have a standard in how I want to live my life in all domains. In some areas, I am letting it slip. I'm letting it slide. It's not what I want. And some of these areas weigh pretty heavy on me. And I can feel like maybe that's where things is getting in the way. Like, I'm spending too much mental time thinking, worrying about that thing. And I can just improve that area, and then everything else can improve, the things I actually do want to improve in, to get better. And so just make sure that you're in alignment with who you say you want to be. Because who you say you want to be, make sure that it reflects, your actions reflect back. Like, for example, say that you are somebody who say that they want to be you pride yourself in being a family person. You pride yourself on having good money management skills, that you, etc. But then you look at your bank statements, your bank account, and you look at that and you're like, the numbers tells a different story. Or you look at your calendar and there's no time that you spend with your family. There's no time where you spend studying for that test, for that certification, or working on this project. Where is it? And then instead you look at your phone, and like, if you have an iPhone, you slide over, you look at your screen time, and you're spending 6 hours scrolling on social media. You're spending X amount of hours just talking this person, talking that person, and it's not that it's bad, but if you say you don't have time, you have time. You're choosing to spend it in a different area, in the thing that you actually want. So stop complaining and change that. Start taking an audit, an inventory of everything, and see what actions need to be in place to change, so then you can become and be and accomplish and achieve whatever the thing is that you want to achieve, and be in all those things. So make sure you're in alignment. And so that was a thought that I got today, that I heard a lesson, and it's just been looming around in my mind, and I'm slowly dissecting it, piercing it apart, and trying to shine a mirror onto myself to see where am I being inadequate, where am I lying to myself, where am I not staying true to what I say, and how can I change that? And I'm looking at it from a perspective of neutrality and compassion and not with judgment, because putting myself down is not going to make me feel better, but understanding the weight of my actions will dictate where my life goes. And that is self-accountability. That is radical self-accountability and extreme ownership with a ton of grace that I'm having for myself. And so instead of complaining and whining, I'm going to do something about it. And I wanted to share that mental thought with you. And so, yeah, thank you. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you as well, I would love to see what you guys are thinking on that. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And yeah, so hope you guys are well. Thank you for watching. I love you for that. Thank you. For those who watch this, who choose to spend their time and attention and energy to listen to me speaking my thoughts into the internet, and hoping this helps somebody else, hoping this chain of thoughts is kind of paying it forward to somebody else to help unlock something, open something, and just help you kind of just look through a different keyhole of perspective that may be of value to you. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And I will see you tomorrow, because we are uploading an episode every single day, and we don't quit. We don't miss. Doesn't matter what goes on. Value is being shared. We're doing the thing because we set out on this journey of building self-respect for ourselves. And if I say I'm going to do something, I want my word to bear a lot of weight. I want it to matter. And not that it matters to others, because I want to care less about what other people think. Have the courage to be disliked, have the courage to be misunderstood, but have my word matter to me. Because if it matters to me, that's enough. Thank you. I will see you guys tomorrow.